Hey everyone, this is Nate Morton and I play drums on the television show The Voice. From time to time I get asked about my setup on the show, so I've put together this little slideshow to share. Here you see my kick drum pedals. That's a Pearl Eliminator twin pedal on the primary kick drum. Then to the right of that, I'm using another Pearl Eliminator twin pedal, and by playing the left pedal, I'm able to use the connecting rod to reach over to the auxiliary kick drum, which is to the right of the primary. Here's another shot of the pedals. On the left, that's the hi-hat stand, then my main twin pedal on the primary kick drum, and to the right of that, the left pedal of the second twin pedal that extends to the auxiliary kick. Here's the auxiliary kick drum. As you can see, it's heavily muffled and used solely as an electronic kick trigger. You can see the RT10K there on the rim just below the lug at 9 o'clock. I use this drum and the kick trigger in conjunction with the Roland SPD-30 when I need a house kick sound for dance music, or perhaps I need to emulate a non-organic kick sound on a loop. Here's an up-top shot of the entire kit. On the far left, there's a mixer where I have my musical mix, the click track, electronic percussion, and the computer all routed to separate faders. Below the mixer and the computer is an E-pad practice pad, and above it is my microphone, which I use to communicate with the band and the crew. Moving further right, you see my iPhone on its shelf, and just behind that, my sugar-free Rockstar in a cup holder. Next is the Roland SPD-30, which is the sound source for not only my auxiliary kick, but also the two PD-8 pads. The drums on the kit are as follows, from left to right. There's a 14-inch floor tom, 13-inch auxiliary snare, 14-inch primary snare. Then the rack toms are 8, 10, and 12 inches, and there's a 16-inch floor tom and an 18-inch floor tom. Then the 20-inch gong drum, and lastly, the two 22-inch kick drums. The cymbals on my left are in the upper right-hand corner, a 20-inch China Trash, and then an 18-inch A Custom Crash, a 9-inch Hybrid Splash, a 19-inch A Custom Crash, with a 10-inch A Custom Splash, and 14-inch A Custom Hats. And that's a Rhythm Tech mounted tambourine just over the 8-inch tom. On my right, there's a 22-inch K Custom Ride, a 20-inch A Custom Crash, and below that, there's a 9-inch Hybrid Splash on top of a 16-inch A China, then a 19-inch Hybrid Crash, and above the gong drum, there's a 20-inch A Custom China. I've been doing these symmetrical up high left and right Chinas for a while now, so, maybe I should have been a drummer in a metal band in the 80s or something. The Rhythm Tech shaker lives in a cup holder nestled between the cymbals and the gong drum. There's lights above the drum kit, there's lights around the drum kit, and oh yes, there's lights beneath the drum kit. In this shot, you can see the left-hand side of the drum kit and the plexi sound barrier to the right. Just outside of this frame is the background vocalist riser, and so that's their riser, and so plexi. So something about too much 20-inch China in all the background vocal mics. I don't know, whatever. These drums are Pearl Masterworks drums, and the custom pinstriping was done for Pearl by Nub of Orange County Choppers. I think the design is awesome and that they look pretty sweet. Beyond their exceptional manufacturing, week to week my drum tech Steve-O from Drum Tech Services makes sure that these drums look and sound amazing. I would never be one to text during a show, or tweet, or chat on Facebook, or surf the web. But, just in case, it's there. These stick marks are definitely not within the space of a quarter, but as long as I'm not smacking the rims of the drums, I consider myself within the acceptable range. Sometimes I miss the drum altogether. These are the headphones I use to monitor. They're Sennheiser Amperior headphones. The low end is punchy, the top end is airy and transparent, and there's plenty of clarity in the mids, which makes them perfect for this application. Here's a shot of me just before the show. Thank God Steve-O reminded me to take off my laminate before we started shooting. This is my show cooler. It used to say Nate Dogg, whereas now it looks like bedazzled abstract art. In this cooler go 2 rock stars, 2 Cokes, 2 waters, and lots of ice. When I grow up, I want a fridge built into a kick drum, like Alex Van Halen. But for now, this will do. Stylistically, playing the show requires me to wear many hats, as well as the occasional gold-trimmed tuxedo. This is Malik Shabazz. He sits in on drums from time to time. I hope you've enjoyed this drum kit tour and that you have found it informative. Catch me and all the rest of the band on The Voice on NBC. Thanks a bunch. See ya.